Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending this special celebration as we honor the Park Street Market and the employees and management staff of the Park Street Market for their enduring service during the COVID-19 pandemic. It is my privilege and honor to introduce our special guest that will be a part of the Zoom room presentation this morning. We have Ms. Tracy Morton, our chapter president of the Kalamazoo Alumnae Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta. We have Ms. Yvonne Jackson, our first vice president of our chapter. We have Ms. Patrice Griffin, vice mayor of the city of Kalamazoo. Mrs. Mattie Jordan Woods, executive director of the Northside Association for Community Advancement, and Mr. Kiar Gamsho, chief manager at the Park Street Market. At this time, I'm going to ask Tracy to come and give us words of the occasion, followed by our first vice president, Yvonne Jackson, who will introduce Ms. Griffin. Okay, Tracy.
Thank you, Beverly. Hello, all. Thank you for joining us this morning. We are so excited and delighted to have you here with us today as we celebrate and acknowledge the Park Street Market essential workers as part of our Midwest Impact Day. Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated is a public service sorority that has been serving communities across the globe since 1913. Now the Midwest Impact Day is a day that Delta Sigma Theta Sorority chapters of the Midwest region, and that encompasses 100 chapters and over 8,000 members. And what that Impact Day does is focus on the community. This year, we have the pleasure of focusing on the essential workers of the community, especially during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. So, the essential workers of the Park Street Market were chosen for their ability to keep their store functioning and people in the community employed during an unprecedented time. This is a time for when we had lack of food supply, there were shortages existed, and many people were losing their jobs. So again, we bring awareness to all the work that has been done. We will continue with the presentation, and now I will turn this over to Yvonne. Yvonne?
Good morning, everyone. I have the pleasure of introducing our Vice Mayor, Ms. Patrice Griffin. For the past 3 years, Patrice has facilitated successes as a housing advocate. She's researched and created a process that resulted in funding for housing, application assistance, and help to place families into housing. She has also been instrumental in writing equitable housing policies that increases housing choices and options for all residents of Kalamazoo. She has served in many other capacities, including board vice chair of the Fair Housing Center for Southwest Michigan, Shared Prosperity Kalamazoo, organizing committee member of the Truth, Racial Healing and Transformation Law and Separation Design Teams, and many others. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Ms. Patrice Griffin, our Vice Mayor.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. It is truly an honor to be a part of this celebration for Park Street Market. Thank you for this lovely introduction. I'm currently serving as Vice Mayor of the city. Wonderful honor. I also am a lifelong Kalamazoo resident and currently live on the north side. And so the Park Street Market for me, and a lot of the work that I do is about barrier removal. And access to food is one of those barriers that, unfortunately is a problem for people. I'm so grateful to Mattie Jordan Woods for leading the charge to have a grocery store put back into the Northside. It's something that we take for granted, having access to not just food, but access to quality foods. And I am forever grateful for the Park Street Market, for their employees, and for everyone who worked to make this possible. A lot of our communities, you know, were in the state that they were in prior to COVID. And what happened with COVID, it just exacerbated things. And to have a staple grocery store in the community that you can depend on, that you know that you can go get quality foods from, and that people are going to be meeting you with a smile, very pleasant. It's just something that, you know, we took for granted. And I'm so thankful to Kiar and to every employee at Park Street Market who will greet you with a smile when you walk in, whether it's 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. And again, just thank you for all of the hard work. I know it was not easy. Especially when essential workers, no one is greater than the other, but oftentimes grocery store workers get overlooked, particularly during the pandemic. And you were so critical and so crucial to not only my family being able to survive, but everyone else being able to survive. And I have to say, there were times when we didn't have transportation, and to have a local grocery store that you can access, especially in COVID when Metro stopped running, and everything else, is just something that absolutely the community appreciates, I appreciate, and absolutely want to thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Griffin, for those words and words of appreciation and acknowledgement of the hardworking staff at the Park Street Market. At this time, I'm going to introduce Mrs. Mattie Jordan Woods. It's an honor to do this. I've known Mattie for years, and she has been the executive director of the Northside Association for Community Development for 33 years. I found that out yesterday. So she is a powerhouse within the Northside of Kalamazoo. And I'm going to ask her if she would say some words in regards to Park Street Market as well. Mattie?
Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to give support to an organization that was told not to come in our community. In 1995, one of our residents said it was a shame that one of her neighbors had to get on the bus with kids to go to the store and carry groceries back into the community. So after 8 years and $3.7 million, we were able to open up the store with a $1 million loan. In 2010, we were faced again with keeping that grocery store open, because that was the whole point in us owning the land, the building, and the freeze equipment, to never be without a grocery store again. We found the most wonderful partners in Park Street Market. The lease that they signed said that 30% of their employees would always be Northside residents, and that if we ever started growing any produce that they sold, that they would be a vendor. And as everyone has said, when the pandemic happened, Kiar, his staff, they stayed open. I mean, when people were staying home, they were afraid to come in. Some of the grocery stores were not restocking. Park Street Market restocked. And no matter what happened, they kept going. So it's an honor for me to say to the essential workers of Park Street Market, thank you, thank you, thank you. But I also want to thank the Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta for recognizing that an essential worker isn't just in healthcare, but they're also in food care. Thank you.
Beverly, if you would unmute, please.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Mattie, for those words, and we appreciate you and what you do for the community. At this time, I'm going to recognize the important special essential workers that work at Park Street Market. Those individuals are Destiny Stacy, Tasha Williams, Danielle Gilmore, Taisha Whiteside, Tanae Troutman, Shemaya Turner, Kenneth Rittenauer, Brian Buchanan, Vajana Daniels, Sharina Hudson, Denisha Perry, Barry Graham, Michael Deaton, Abe Smith, Ray Ryder, Nicola Morales, Matt Sills, and Jan Sills. On behalf of the Kalamazoo Alumnae Chapter, we will be providing them and giving them tokens of appreciation. And included with that token, they will be treated to a catered lunch provided by Patricia Davis and Davis Delectables, as well as a gift certificate to the Victorian Bakery, which is next door to the Park Street Market. We appreciate them. And at this time, I'm going to turn it back to Tracy, and she's going to give a special presentation from a representative of the management staff at Park Street Market.
Thank you, Beverly. So now it is my absolute pleasure on behalf of the Kalamazoo Alumnae Chapter to present this award to the Park Street Market. And so I'm going to just show you a glimpse of it. It's kind of hard to see, but we'll make sure you get it, Kiar, so that you can display it in your store. And what it says is, Kalamazoo Alumnae Chapter recognizes Park Street Market for your outstanding service to the community during the COVID-19 pandemic, October 2020. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Kiar to provide us comments. Kiar?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
First, I would like to thank God for giving us the strength to be here, and definitely like to thank the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Miss Beverly, Miss Tracy, Miss Yvonne. I would like to definitely thank Vice Mayor Patrice Griffin. I always see her patronizing our store. And the story of Park Street Market starts with a 5'5" lady named Mattie Jordan Woods. We love you, Mattie. I'm overestimating a little bit, but she is the soul of the Northside. She's the energy of the Northside. And why is Park Street Market so important for Kalamazoo is she recognizes why a grocery store is so important for a neighborhood. Access to food, fresh foods is key. And she was able to secure all that financing and all put in all her energy to develop a grocery store. And her model has been used across the country. I don't think people realize it. Mattie is famous in Detroit. She's famous in Flint. I'm sure she's famous on the East Coast. People don't understand how she did it. And without her energy, you know, we're very grateful. The city of Kalamazoo is very grateful. Our family is very grateful, and especially the Northside neighborhood is very grateful for Miss Mattie Jordan Woods. So without her, and obviously without God, we wouldn't be here today talking. And thank you, Mattie, sincerely from my heart. Why is Park Street Market so important? It is vital. I always use this as an example. You know, your body is like a sports car, and your body needs fuel. And corporate America has a lot of processed foods and junk that they want to promote because they make a lot of money on it. And people could say we contradict ourselves as grocers because we sell chips and pop and all that. But the way Mattie set up the store and her vision was produce first, you know, then a fresh deli, and then our meat department. And it's very vital what you put in your body because it makes your body run the rest of the day. And having the essential nutrients to make your body run, just like the high-end sports car. If you put the wrong gasoline on it, it's not going to run right. So we need to recognize now, especially my generation, what we put in our bodies. You know, we're addicted to fast food. We want convenience, and it's not convenient to cook, but it goes a long way. And, you know, the vision and for Park Street Market in the future is to educate my generation on the importance of eating healthy foods. And day to day in our operations, I don't think people realize the importance of our perishable departments. Our operation, we have a 24-foot meat counter and a 16-foot meat counter, which is like pretty small compared to our operations in Detroit. And I think per square foot, we are the #1 meat department in West Michigan. And that comes from generations of understanding the perishable business. Now, a lot of these big companies are getting away from fresh. Everything is prepackaged. And the new way of packaging stuff is they add stuff to it. They add gases, and we don't know until maybe 10 years from now if they're good or bad for you now. But our competitive advantage is our meat department and having butchers on site to process meat and pass it on to the customers. Not just that, to listen to our customer. You know, one of our best sellers is oxtails. You know, my mom cooks oxtails, but we cut them fresh every day. You go to other stores, they have them frozen, tucked away in the corner. And, you know, that's a very hearty food, and, you know, it might add some fat on you, but it's good fat. And going back to the pandemic, we would definitely like to recognize all our employees and all our vendors and everyone in the community that supported us. There was a food shortage, a huge food shortage. I think for 3 weeks, a lot of the local grocery stores didn't have any meat. And protein is vital for your body to function. Our relationships from the Detroit Eastern Market to the Chicago Meatpacking District to Indiana to Iowa, and our relationships with the restaurant industry allowed us never to skip a beat regarding keeping our store full. I'll never forget it. Mayor Anderson called me on three-way with former Mayor Bobby Hopewell, asking me if I had a certain product. I'm a little guy in a little grocery store in Kalamazoo. I have 2 mayors on the phone asking me if I had a product, and I did. And I was so happy to tell them, yeah, I have it, come get it. Because I think Mayor Anderson needed something for one of their homes, one of their nonprofits. It was just, I'll never forget that story the rest of my life. But the human effect of running a grocery store and being part of a community and caring, because everything is so digital these days with social media and everyone's so distracted. Us being here to day and having our employees care about the neighborhood and the community goes a long way. So when I'm using that as an example, because when there was a food shortage, I had 3 or 4 of my employees and me calling all of these vendors across the state, finding product to stay full. We were the first grocery store to rely on the restaurant industry before the grocery stores thought of calling the restaurant industry to buy all their overstock because all the restaurants were closed. So we bought Cisco and GFS's pretty much entire inventory. I think it was the 3rd week of March. Like, we wiped them out. We were the only place, I would say, in a 100-mile radius that had meat. We had people driving from Grand Rapids. We had people driving from Ben Harbor. We had people coming from out of state. And I always talk bad about social media, but I'm going to talk good about it now, because we went on social media, we went live, and we're like, we got the meat. You know, it was like an Arby's commercial. It was pretty cool. So the human effect of being in a grocery store, it goes a long way. I don't think people realize it. Our community is being trained to go to these big box stores where everything is prepackaged, this and that. And that's where it comes to the sense of community. You know, church is locked down still. They're not at capacities yet. And I think with the digital world and technology, the grocery store is going to be maybe one of the last places where people can congregate and see each other. And Zoom is cool, but, you know, there's nothing like talking face to face and feeling people's energy and being able to just get out of the house and socialize. And Park Street Market on the Northside, people don't realize it, is a destination. people come from all over the community to support it and to feel the energy, listen to the good music, eat the good soul food. And being a destination, it's like no one thought it could be a destination. And you know, the old saying, you build it and they will come. You know, Mattie built it, and you know, people are coming. And it's a great environment, and you know, we're very thankful to be part of this community, and we have a lot more work to do. We've been here over 10 years now, and the COVID crisis, obviously there's a lot of negative things going on, but we were able to sustain it. You know, a lot of our employees had to stay home and take care of their loved ones, and we were able to give them their jobs back. But overall, we're very thankful. We're very blessed every day. And I'm 37 years old, and I tell Mattie this all the time. I spent over a quarter of my life on the north side of Kalamazoo, and I'm a kid that grew up in Detroit suburb of Bloomfield. And who would have thought I would have came here and to be working and just to be sitting here now. So we're very grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you so much. I want to, as we close, I want to say a special thank you to our wonderful guests and the wonderful members that have joined us from the Kalamazoo Alumnae Chapter. We've been serving Kalamazoo County since 1973, and so our work continues. It is what we do. It is what we enjoy. It is our vision. It is in our blood. I would be remiss if I did not thank our sponsor from Old National Bank, Mr. Nathan Bolton, because without them, we would not have been able to do this. So we are very thankful for Old National Bank and Mr. Bolton. So I think all our hearts are in the right places now as we finish the rest of our day. Thank you again for joining, and this concludes our presentation.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank